Meine Herren, the target for today is an artillery position just behind the front line. Each aircraft will carry 8 250-kilogram general-purpose bombs to effect the destruction of this target. Bf-109s from JG-52 will meet us over Zaporozhskaya airfield at waypoint 2 and escort us to and from the target. Anticipate mild flak over the front line in the target area. Interception by enemy fighters is possible, although less likely than on previous missions. The formation will bomb from an altitude of 3,000 meters. This altitude will position us outside the range of short-range anti-aircraft guns, but should retain bombing accuracy. The track on the run-up to the target will be 098 degrees. The town and numerous lakes and ponds should be visible in the vicinity of the target. That's all. Good luck. Welcome aboard my HE-111 for the third mission of this 111 career. We'll just get the aircraft configured for takeoff, and then we'll get out of here. So I flicked the instrument backlighting on just to make things a little more visible. I will put the radiators to about 75% each, should maintain adequate cooling during the climb. Set flaps, 10 degrees for takeoff should be adequate this time. We don't have as much fuel. And let's go. Set takeoff power. Airspeed's alive. 50. $100? Or is that 150? That is 150. Okay. 170, 180. Tail wheels come up, and these are off the runway. Do minimum climb, gear up, accelerate, and coming up on 200, flaps up, and set climb power. Righto, I'll fly straight and level for just a little bit here, then make a right turn and head for the target, and everyone should be able to get formed up during that time. Oh, this might be a problem, this that we can see all around us here. We should be approaching Zaporozhskaya airfield, which is where our fighter escort's meant to meet us. This cloud layer is kind of thick, though, so we'll just have to find out when we get there whether or not it's obscuring the target. Where the hell are we? I think we're still more or less on track. We've leveled off at 3,000 meters. Engine temperatures are looking okay. I'm just keeping my eyes peeled for this field here. There it is. Okay. I think we're okay then. So we'll set up our drift correction. So track is 098. Wind. I'll go by the wind data for 2,000 meters, so 240. Which is from our desired track 40 degrees off from the tail at 6 meters per second. Altitude 3,000 meters. Airspeed probably about 310 will be what it irons out to. Gives us a drift factor of about 2.5 degrees to port. So to that end, let's see, let's get this set up exactly correctly. Okay, fighters are starting up somewhere. Looks like they are coming from down there, this time at least. So, our corrected heading, as we pass over it, we'll pick up a heading of 100. and change. And start having a look for checkpoints. So, this body of water here is pretty distinctive. We want to pass just south of the nub here and on the edge of the town. So, let's have a look. Okay, hang on, which end of it? This side of the nub. And that should be us pretty much set up and on track. So that's navigation items dealt with. We're on our way. The only item to be seen to is whether cloud is going to obscure the target. If it does, we may have to get creative. So, passing over this island in the middle of the lake here is our initial point, which is here. And looking at these two lakes, which are up ahead of us here through the windscreen, the target is on the other side of the next one beyond them, and currently appears to be obscured. So the thing that we're gonna have to do here is get set up for our attack and hope that when we pop out of the other side of this cloud, the target will be right in front of us. If it isn't, well, we'll probably have to go around, which is not anything like ideal. But I suppose there's only one way to find out what's on the other side of there. So our current airspeed is 290. I've had to slow down a bit so that some straggling bombers could catch up. Oh boy, fighters have been ordered to engage nearest air target. That sort of tacitly implies there are enemy fighters in the area. Guessing our airspeed will come back to 280. I don't have time to worry about enemy fighters right now. This may be a split-second thing in order to hit this target, so that's going to require my undivided attention. Well, into the cloud we go. Airspeed is not, well, it's going back slowly. I'm going to open the oil radiator up to 50% again to try and get it back to 280. Because again, having a round number as your speed is helpful in ensuring bombing accuracy. Shoo. I'll just keep this sight dialed out. We should be more or less on track, but probably not exactly. And again, look right between the larger lake and the town here. Be ready to pick it out real quick, because it's probably going to be right in front of us. Come on, burst out of the cloud, please. I now see nothing. Whoo! There, target in sight. Okay. Woohoo! Right in front of us. Of course, we fly into another cloud. That may be its own problem, so maybe I should actually try using the automatic mode here. Hey, why are those disappearing? I think that's more or less a graphical thing. Actually, I don't think I'll need to use the automatic mode, because I can reference this little bit of this lake over here. And he's giving the order to drop on my command, which is what I want. Airspeed and altitude are good. Don't really have time to correct this, so that's just going to have to be the way it is. I'll drop when we're abeam this first set here. So, 5 Sekunden. Los! And we shall observe, though we might not see very much. The effect on target may have to be assessed by other means. Yeah, that may well be. Actually, nope, bombs are coming down there. Well, at least some landed on those artillery positions, so we've got that going for us at least. Let's come right. Track for the return leg is 267. We may have to make a very small wind correction, but not much of one. The wind isn't very strong today. Well, targets are being called out as destroyed. That makes me vaguely optimistic. Anyway, yeah, landmarks on that track. We want to fly along the southern edge of this lake here, I think, is the main idea. 3, 4, 5, 6. J-button! And based on where the wind's coming from, 234, I think I'll make about a 2-degree correction into the wind should be all that we need, so I'll pick up a heading of 265 for now, but I'll probably navigate mostly by pilotage on the return trip, aka looking out of the window. Oh, so this is this lake here. Okay, well, we need to line up on that little ledge, actually. But then again, navigational minutiae are not something I want to cover every single little tiny detail of, because that could get a little bit boring. So, once we're more or less set up, I will probably just come back when something interesting happens. I mean, I find navigation terribly interesting, but I can understand if most of the audience probably doesn't. So, back in a bit. We're back. Almost home. Had a completely uneventful return trip. Hang on. Just check that radiator again. That is Zamorsk over there. Let's just check what the surface wind is. Yeah, 262 at 3 meters per second, so we can basically land from east to west like we did last time. So that's all well and good. I will now issue the order for the rest of the flight to break off and land on their own. And then I will get out of their path to the field so we don't have those quite the same silly buggers as last time. I'm sure we'll have something else fun to deal with, though. And I'll start to power back a bit, because we do need to get rid of some speed prior to landing. And just want to spot the rest of those guys visually. Yeah, there they go, down that way. Nothing for us to worry about. That as well. And I'm just going to power right back and actually close down the radiators for now so that we don't overcool the engines. And proceeding to base. I think those might be our fighters breaking off. They might have covered us all the way back here. I'm not sure. I don't tend to really keep the closest track of them, if I'm honest, whilst we're underway. Anyway, I think it's about time to put the lights on. And just keep decelerating and trimming. Yeah, I think the rest of those guys are still well out of the way, so I'm not super worried about that. Speed still just gently creeping back, which is fine. We have plenty of room. I might pitch up very slightly. Speed continues to come back. Pretty sure we're clear of the rest of the formation still, though I'm, as always, a little bit paranoid about the various antics of bomber formations in the circuit. Anyway, speeds come right back now, so gear down. Make sure my props are pushed to their maximum continuous position. And gears down, 2 green. Give me flaps 40, please. I say please to myself. Not sure why. Anyway, and then I spit all those guys out in front of me because they're just joining the circuit and not slowing down for landing yet. Whatever, as long as they're out of the way, I don't really care. So that's just as well. I'll maintain about 180 on the approach. We're pretty light. We don't have very much fuel and we're rid of our bombs, so I'm not super duper worried about stalling as such. Flare's gone out. These guys, please, 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 please. For the love of God, don't kill yourselves. You're in my good airplanes, too. Why are you doing this? Do you need to do a victory loop over the... Gott in Himmel! Okay. Those are our second and third operational losses of the career, and they have all been to accidents. Ugh. I'm not happy about that. On the other hand, loss rates to accidents in World War II were pretty bloody high, depending on the source you read, between 1 and 2/3 of all losses. Anyway, let's get ourselves down, stopped and shut down before any of these yokels get up to any other silly shenanigans over the field. I am struck dumb by what I just saw. There was no reason for them to do that. Hole. Anyway. Flaps up. Think we're clear of the runway. Landing successful. Good, good, good. Engines off, lights off. It's just... Before anything else ridiculous happens, well, I'll see you at the debriefing. Right, so the lump sum total of what I destroyed was 1 anti-aircraft gun and 1 truck, but we'll see what the rest of the formation managed to do in terms of effect upon that target. Waiting, waiting, waiting. And, I mean, obviously the mission is considered complete, but, yeah, well. Hans Werner Heuche, anyway, was killed in action, along with Bernd Peters, who is now... Oh, Bernd! And he didn't even hit anything. Okay, well, oh, well, I mean, in fairness, with hair that looks like that, I think I'd want to end it all too. Oh, anyway. Between the two of them, they destroyed 1 truck. Between the entire formation, they got 3 trucks and 3 artillery pieces and 1 anti-aircraft gun. So we definitely messed up the enemy position pretty good, although we didn't destroy it entirely, I don't think. But, oh, anyway. 2 more losses chalked up to rank stupidity. And, well, that is the summation of this day, since obviously we had 2 missions in 1 day. I think I'm going to leave the target for the next mission a mystery for now. We'll just have to wait and see what it is. But I'll be back with the next mission before too terribly long. Toodles.